and welcome back to my channel. This is the Mental Wellness channel with Waihiga. If you're new here, I hope that you stick around to take a listen to what I have to share. Today, I want to talk about parenting. Parents. Have you thought about it? Do you want to become a parent? Why do you want to become a parent? Before I do, kindly like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel so that we can grow this community of the mental wellness channel with Waihiga. Thank you so much. It's one of the most fundamental things I think that will ever happen to a person in their life, becoming a parent. It's the most serious, it's the most important thing that will ever happen to you, if you decide to go that route. Yet we live in a day and age where it's full of the baby mama, baby daddy culture. And I wonder if a lot of people really think about what they're doing before they have children. From personal experience, I've been lucky in the sense that it's not something that I've had to go through. I'm a recovering alcoholic, 6 years sober. So becoming a mother is not something that I've had to deal with. And I consider myself lucky in the sense that I would not have been able to take care of a child. I would not have been ready to give that child everything that that child needs. I mean, I'm sober 6 years and I'm still not able to give myself everything that I need. So how would I be able to do that for a child? So there's different aspects of this conversation that I want to go in. So the first one is, do people seriously think about having children before having them? When you read psychology, when you listen to people like Dr. Gabe, I think his name is Gabe Mante or something, the guy who talks about childhood trauma. When you go through all the information about childhood trauma and how imperative those years of childhood are in the formation of that child into being an adult, you wonder if people are serious. For lack of a better word, if people are serious about what they're doing in life. Yes, we live in the information age, and we live in the age of the internet, and we live in the age of fast information. And our parents and generations before us did not have access to the information that we now do. They were not privy to this kind of information. They did not know that, if you don't breastfeed a child, then this will happen. If you don't breastfeed a child, then that child will probably end up smoking much later in their life. I think Freud is the one who came up with that, the oral fixation, or stuff like that. These things were not studied or were not seen as serious as they are today. Mental health, mental wellness, the psychology of children, the psychology of the mind, the well-being of minds was not seen as something as important. And yet today, we have seen the fruits of ignoring mental illness, mental wellness, and mental health conversations. Obviously, we have a completely rotten society. Serial rapists, serial killers, the way we relate with each other, men and women, in our modern day society is deplorable. And I think it comes back to some parts of our upbringing. Studies show, the psychiatrists, the psychologists talk about the formative years, the first 3 years, the first 5 years, the first 12 years when a child is being developed into adolescence years. Those are the most critical, the most important years. And yet, as parents, you may throw those years away as, they'll only get difficult when they're teenagers. That's when I think people now want to really step up their game and be like, okay, we have 4 years to teach them everything because they're about to go into the world. Like a crash course in parenting. And yet, by the time a child is 12, 13, and most likely by the time they're 18, their personality has most likely formed. And it's due to the nurturing, the environment that they grew up in. So if you were working those years, if you as the parent were the breadwinner, you were making the money, you were traveling the world, but you were content with the fact that I put my children in private schools, They had nannies, they had private chefs, they lived in gated communities. Be prepared to know that other people influenced your children, and that they look at the advice and they take the values and the principles of the people who actually were there for them day in and day out, such as the nannies, the chefs, the driver. They hold those people's values higher than they do yours, because mommy or daddy was not around. Mommy and daddy just footed the bill, you know? And people get to a certain age and they wonder, why is my child acting like this? What happened? Go back to the formative years. It's such a short period of time, but everything is formed there. So back to the question, have you thought about having kids? Because I have. And looking at my life, what I have dealt with, I'm not confident that I can successfully raise children and not spill over my pain, my traumas into their lives. So if it were up to me, I would not. I would not have children. I would be childless if it were up to me. I think there's a lot of work that I need to do. A lot of work. A lot of work around self-centeredness, selfishness, around projection, pain, around dependencies. Making people, places, and things my dependencies. There's a lot of work I have to do around that. And I think I can easily damage a child. So I wouldn't cower out of being a parent because... No, that's exactly what I'm saying. I would cower out of being a parent because of the responsibility of forming an integral part of who that child is going to be. I don't have confidence in myself at this point in time that I know how to regulate myself emotionally, that I know how to be self-sufficient enough, that I am a powerhouse on my own, that I'll be able to help guide another human being. When I ask people why they have children or why they would want children, people say things like, and it's the funniest thing to me, when I get a partner whom I'm really in sync with and I really love, yes, I would want to have a family with them. And it's like, is that the only reason? Because you're in love with someone else? Wow. Or they want a family. Okay, to do what with a family? Like a family can be you and your spouse, your family of origin. Your family is your friends. I mean, how do children come in and make a family? There are people who say, I want someone who loves me unconditionally. That I feel is a red flag, because you're bringing a life into this world with conditions. And the condition is that that child is here in this world to love me. And when children come into this world, you stop being the center of attention. That child is everything. And that child may very well grow up to resent you because you put that expectation on them, that your job is to love me unconditionally. Like, that's not the prerogative of the child. The child is to come into this earth and be who they were meant to be by their creator, who is not you. You were just a vessel. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't know if I'll be a parent or not. God is the one that decides. God is the one that decides. Children come into this earth through vessels. I'm a woman, so I have the right mechanics, I guess, to have a baby come through me and out. I have doubts. I have self-doubts. It wouldn't be human of me to not question. And I don't think that parenting is something that you can do perfectly. Of course not. But I do think that it is such a difficult job. It is such a huge responsibility to shape the life of another human being, to be in the care of, to guide another human being, essentially, for the rest of their lives, really. And if you mess that up, if you mess that person up, that's on you. So those are my thoughts. Have you guys thought about being parents? And the ones who are, how is it going? But let me know what you think. Did you seek God? Did you ask God about being a parent? How did it happen for you? What are the parenting lessons that you have learned? Is being a parent the most humbling thing that ever happened to you? Kindly let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I'm just expressing some thoughts about parenting and how difficult it must be. I hope you like this video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, leave your comments down below and subscribe to the channel, so let's grow the mental wellness family. Until the next video, goodbye guys.